Yaakov goes in to take the blessings from his brother. He attempts to fool his father Yitzhak. Before he enters the tent of Yitzhak, he prepares himself. He puts on the cloak of Esav. He puts on the Gedi'izim. He takes a sheepskin and puts it on his hands so he should be hairy. And he walks into his father Yitzhak. His father Yitzhak says, "Who are you?" He says, "I'm Yitzhak." And Yitzhak is somewhat taken aback. There's something strange about this person here. Yitzhak says, "Come here, my son." Yaakov steps forward. Yitzhak feels him. And then Yitzhak says the famous words, "Hakol kol Yaakov." The voice is the voice of Yaakov. Vayedayim idei Esav. The hands are the hands of Esav. He feels like Esav. He's hairy, but there's something unusual about his voice. Rashi's bothered by what tipped Yitzhak off. What made him suspicious? Esav and Yaakov were identical twins. Their voice had the same tonality. What made Yitzhak suspect that this wasn't Esav, but actually was Yaakov? Rashi explains it wasn't the voice, it was the expression. You see, when Yaakov entered, he said, "Please, my father, please get up." That was an expression that Yaakov would say. That was not the type of expression that Esav would say. Esav was gruff. Esav was unrefined. To say no, to say please, something suspicious about that. Rashi explains that's how Yitzhak suspected that it wasn't Esav but was Yaakov. And this Rashi is quite difficult to understand because Chazal tell us that the single human being who treated his father with the ultimate amount of respect was Esav. No human being respected his father as did Esav, and the Gemara explains to us that it wasn't because of a mitzvah. Esav loved his father, respected his father, treated him with the ultimate awe because he loved his father and felt an obligation to pay back to him. So if Esav loved his father and respected his father, wouldn't you imagine that he would speak politely, "Please, my father," using such expressions? Why is it if he loved his father and respected him so, how is it possible that he didn't speak with a polite manner? And I believe the answer is that a human being's habits and manners of speech are who they are. You could love a person, you could respect a person, but your habits die very hard. And Esav respected his father to an extent that's hard to imagine, but he still was the person he was. He was unrefined, uncouth. To hear an expression like "please" come from his lips was unnatural. Therefore, Yitzhak suspected that it wasn't Esav, but actually was Yaakov. And I believe Rashi is teaching us a fundamental lesson for life. You could love your wife, you could love your children, you could love your parents, but if you don't train yourself in speaking in a genteel, refined manner, the uncouth expressions and the harsh words will come out. Working on love, working on respect is a very important part of growth. But aside from that, and in addition to that, a person has to learn to watch their expressions, to speak in a very refined manner, to use words and expressions that are gentle, that are refined, because you can love a person to the ends of the earth. You can respect them to the ends of the earth, but if your habits are what they are, they will surface. For a person to really grow, you have to work on respect, we have to work on love, but in addition to that, we have to work on being proper, being refined in our manners of speech.